Welcome to the Become an Author podcast, where we promote martial artists. You have a chance to meet some of the international best-selling authors. And my name is Jessie Bowen, and today our episode is about a special celebration you don't want to miss. We are shining a spotlight on a powerful new release from a leader whom has been dedicated to building champions on and off the mat, Grandmaster Stephen Miller. We're here to talk about the launch of an inspiring children's book, I Can't Yet, the powerful one-word message that drives this story to help you to be able to support your kids in building confidence. The book creates and teaches confidence, resilience, and the mindset every child needs to overcome obstacles and the courage and discipline to be successful. This book is already making waves, earning Amazon's #1 hot release, recognized in multiple categories, including teen and young adult martial arts. So whether you are a parent, educator, martial artist, or an inspiring author who wants to create an impact through your message, then this episode is a first step on how you can do it. So this is a powerful new program that Elite Publication has launched, all about telling stories through children's book. So we want to welcome Grandmaster Stephen Miller. Hello, sir. How are you doing?
Great, sir. Thank you very much for having me on today. How are you today, sir?
So I guess we need to start off by #1 showing the bling bling. You got your bling bling?
I got mine right here.
We have the bling bling here, and this is his brand new book just out this week. And really, it doesn't really get the push and promotion until next week. We got a lot of things planned for the launch of his book, but it's taken off so quickly. We launched it about a week ago, and it's already hit Amazon's hot new release in several categories, and also has made Amazon's best-selling book in several categories also. So we're really excited about it, about helping individuals, no matter, we work with a lot in the martial arts community, but Christian authors, novels, you name it, we do it. If it's in publishing, we actually do it. So we're really, really excited today to share with you about this new book launch, and also about the idea or the concept. Someone thinks about something, they have the courage to move forward and to make it successful. And this is where so many individuals lose, because they've got a great book idea, something that's happened in their lives, or they're looking away. How can I make my martial arts classes better? How can I make my daycare center better? How can I, get a message out to young kids? So his book is, again, an amazing book to help to be able to make that connection with what Grandmaster Miller is teaching in his classes and how he's impacting his students. So, sir, are you excited?
Oh, you have no idea, sir. I am through the roof excited.
It's we're glad. Elite Publications, our big task is to helping you accomplish whatever you want to accomplish, in your book project. You've been very dedicated this year, very consistent. This is about your third publication you've actually been in this year. So, we've been doing some compilation things, some anthology books. You've been featured in our magazine. So you've really been building your brand and getting out there. And again, congratulations. I just heard this morning that you're being nominated at the Action Martial Arts Hall of Honors for publishing excellence this year. So again,
Yes.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
So
Yeah,
tell
I
us,
just got that email
what
today,
is,
so that was very exciting. I just got that email, so that was some good way to wake up today.
well, it's always a great way to know when you're doing something. You see, what happens is when people are not doing something, then they don't get anything back. But when you're investing your time, your energy, and sometimes your money, then you're looking for a return. So the work you've done this year of building your martial arts school, creating a publicity about who you are and what your message is. You were featured in the Elite Martial Artists Worldwide compilation book.
Mhm.
There was a feature article that had you on the cover of another magazine. So now, like I said, today you're being nominated, because people are watching you. So this is a huge, nomination for you. And like I said, you're on the release of your own book, and this children's book is truly amazing. We were honored to have the opportunity to work with you to be able to bring that together. But when we are, thinking about the heart of your message, what inspired you to write "I Can't Yet," the power of one word?
Well, especially when I started teaching, but in today's society, everybody's always winning the trophy, right? So I think it's created almost a mentality where if kids don't get that ultimate success right off the bat, they just change and do something else, change to something else. I can't. Let me try something else. And I saw it coming into my school with my children. So I just changed the mindset. I said, you might not be able to do it now, but you will be with practice. So my kids know they are not allowed to say I can't unless they finish it with the word yet in my school.
And that's excellent, and that's what we have to do is use, again, if someone is our listeners, if you've been thinking about how to help your kids, then I would definitely recommend finding a good martial arts school, and that is an excellent way to help them develop self-confidence, and set goals and achieve goals. And I think your book is excellent for parents, for them to read, but also just begin to read a story to your child about another kid that had a problem, that didn't have the confidence, and learn how Grandmaster Miller, how he helped this child to be able to develop the confidence in there. Why is it important for us to focus on children and the growth mindset?
Well, I mean, where are they going to go? They're only going to get older and become leaders. So we have to encourage them to keep striving forward, to keep trying to succeed, and to keep growing. And if we don't, then we're just hurting our own future. So it's important for us as leaders, especially that's the way I feel. In my school, I don't want to just teach them in those four walls. I want to make sure they're successful once they leave, whether they stay with me forever as trainers. But once they walk out of those doors, I want them to make sure they're successful on the outside. And it's my responsibility as their instructor to help them attain that by trying to build their confidence and teaching them just keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. It's like they always say about Abraham Lincoln. How many times did he try to become president and run for office and fail, office fail, office fail, and finally he won the presidency? I don't want them to give up. They have to keep trying. They have to succeed, and it's our responsibility to get them there.
Right. Well, and everyone, if you're just, logging into us, we're with Grandmaster Stephen Miller, and we're celebrating the launch of his brand new children's book. Children's book is going to be the thing for 2026, and a great messaging tool. So whether if you've been thinking about writing a children's book, or if you want ideas for marketing to your business and that you're dealing with children, then reach out to Elite Publications. That's Elite Publications. That's www.elitepublications.org. So we're excited. The book has already hit Amazon's #1 hot new release. Now you have to realize that Amazon has about 14,000 books that it releases every week in different categories. So for this book to launch, and like I said, we're not even prepared for the success it's getting right now, because we don't really launch until next week. but just being on the internet and the impact that this book has made has already pushed it to number one in several categories and also number one bestseller. And I'm always asked, what does that really mean? Well, it means that 14,000 books, along with the other million books, is who's selling the most. Amazon is really about selling. Who's selling the most books? So when you are rated as number one, it's by your book sales. And when you look down, there's a area down on the description that tells you what is the ranking of the book. So if you're in the top 100 books in a category, you are technically classified as an Amazon best-selling author. So they evaluate the top, 100 books. And again, this book coming out, this amazing book coming out, is already number one hot release in several categories and also number one bestseller. So again, this is the contributions or the ability of Grandmaster Miller to put together a great book, and Elite Publications was honored to be able to get it out there, to be able to market the book, and to be able to get his story out. So what does the word yet mean to you personally?
To me, it just means it's not there. You're not quite at the point where not mastered it, but are able to do something. So that by adding that one word yet, it just opens up the door to so many possibilities, whether it's, I haven't been there yet. Maybe somebody wants to travel, and they keep saying, I'm never going to get there. Well, I've never been there yet. I mean, by adding that one word to the end of a sentence, it changes every single negative into a positive, because it always leaves that opportunity for success, no matter what you're attaching that word to. And that's huge. I'm a very positive person. I try to live my life as positive as possible. And I owe that all to our good Lord upstairs. And that one word is just a door opener in so many ways.
Well, I think that's very powerful. And as parents, a lot of times, that's the reason why bringing your kids to a martial arts school, because this is an environment that every day that teaches the same thing. It starts, it should start from the time that you walk in the door, that lesson starts. And then through the continual practice of that lesson of, showing respect when you walk in the door. So respect is something that we should be showing all the time. It's not just at home, but it's to other people, the different things we're doing, the teachers, parents, the adults. I'm sort of old school, showing respect. And it's a word that we're losing. And because the confidence that kids don't have, and it's easy to pick up and mimic something which is good behavior, bad behavior. But your book is 63 pages, which for a children's book, that is a lot of insight. But it takes that much to be able to share the story. So, was there a real life student or an experience that directly influenced this story?
Well, yeah. Like, for example, when I first opened, we had one particular student has very high level ADHD. Had very trouble sitting still, doing anything to follow us, and every class we do meditation in our class, whether it's children or adults classes. We always start the class with meditation, and he just could not sit still. As soon as we sat down, he'd be wiggling, jiggling, moving his hands. So he and I started to say, you can't do it yet. Let's work on it. Okay, close your eyes and count to 10. When you're done counting to 10, open your eyes. And then we just build it up. And, within about 5 months, he actually got an award for the best meditator. I called it for him. So it taught him that, through perseverance, and not just give up on yourself because you feel that itch, or, you feel like you got to move. Keep trying to extend yourself, keep pushing yourself. And it worked. It was, like I said, he won the award. He was so happy to win that award. And his mom said it had made a huge difference on him at school, because now he was starting to sit better at school. So his grades were starting to be impacted by going up, which is always a good thing. But yeah, so that was probably the one at first. That's when I opened in 2018, my school. That was probably in 2019. So it was right on early on when I opened the school, that initial student issue.
Great. And again, everyone, if you're listening to our program today, just checking in, I'm with Grandmaster Stephen Miller, and this is a special Become an Author podcast on his new book, I Can't Yet. It's on Amazon. It is an Amazon #1 hot release and bestseller. So the banner's running across the screen. Go to Amazon, order a copy of his book, and leave a review. The book is on special right now. So it's on the soft cover book, and it's also a Kindle book also. If you're looking for a great gift for Christmas, then this book is your perfect gift. This is something that you can invest in, and guess what? It's going to last more than just the Christmas holidays. This is an impactful book. So really recommend you getting a copy of it. So how does martial arts uniquely help kids to overcome self-doubt?
Well, the constant repetition, which is in any martial art, repetition. So, you'll do things. So, like the beginning of class is basic drills, which I'm sure you did in your art, sir, as well. But it's the same movement consistently. And when they first start, it's funny because the stances aren't good, which right? The blocks aren't good. They're almost afraid to yell because they feel intimidated or shy to yell. And as they look at the higher students as they get higher in rank, the stances start becoming cleaner. The blocks start becoming more crisp. The yells start becoming more distinct. And they see that growth, and it starts letting them go, hey, maybe I can get there too. So martial arts builds that confidence on those movements. And then little by little, they start taking that confidence outside the door. And now they're doing better I can do that math problem. I just need to work harder at it. I can read this book. Just take my time and read. And ask my mom or my teacher if I'm stuck on a word. Don't just put the book down. So by the repetition and building that muscle memory, it's not only physical muscle memory, but it's brain muscle memory. So the kids are growing at crazy levels.
And that's what it really takes. I hear parents, I've heard parents say, why do I have to keep telling you the same thing over and over? But you see, that is exactly what your book is about. I don't get it yet. So what do? You keep telling them the same thing over and over. And that is a great message, because you cannot give up and show your frustration with your child, because they take that on, and that just that's what I call stealing. Yeah. See, stealing is when I want to be one way, but you come in and use negative words and you steal that opportunity. I may be excited about myself, but you use another word that comes back in and steals that away from me. So, I've got 5 kids myself, and I would tell you, you never stop telling them, what they need to know and do if they're not. See, because in the martial arts school, we have that consistency every day, and the students conform to that. And guess what? They want to become leaders. They want to become black belts, and it's our responsibility to provide an image. So if someone has a martial arts school or not a martial arts school, maybe it's a Sunday school class, and you want to try to get your message that your kids can understand it, then creating a children's book that messages what it is that you do and what that message you want to relate to your kids. This is a powerful way to be able to do that. And again, what does this make you, Grandmaster Miller? Well, it makes you an international best-selling author. Okay, it also makes you an expert. Through your book, you now become an expert in child development in that. And your book is that giant business cards. And we try to work with, no matter what your business is, but I'll say martial arts this moment, to be able to help you to set up your book signing. Next Thursday, you got a big book signing happening at your school, and your kids are going to be there. They're bringing their friends in. We're already lining up bookstores and stuff where you do your book signings in,
Yep.
which now creates that energy of people getting a chance to meet you, to hear your message, and to get a chance to see your message in your book, because every parent can connect to what your message is.
Mhm.
So, I mean, that's really exciting. I know you started to, announce the word into your martial arts school. And so tell me what you got planned for next week.
Well, right next week, like I said, we got that event coming up on Thursday. Right now, we got gonna have a nice celebration, pizza party, cake. Invite all the students and their friends in. We're gonna read the book and just celebrate with all the kids and have some out there for sale. So anybody wants to come by, come on by. I'm happy to give you the address. It's 731 Great Creek Road in Absecon. Come on by. We'll have, like I said, a nice little party and celebrate the release of this book. So I'm very excited.
Well, yeah. So you're actually in, am I correct, Atlantic City area?
I am. Yeah. Absecon is right outside Atlantic City. It's the next town over.
Okay, that is great. So, what would you say was your big takeaway this year? Because you've had a very, very big year. I know you were inducted into the AMAA Hall of Honors this year. You've been featured in books this year. You've ever had a very progressive year in the martial arts, or building your brand of who you are and who you are as a martial artist. So what's your big takeaway from this year, as to get a chance to sit back for a second and just sort of take a big inhale, exhale? So what's your takeaway?
I'm still trying to wrap around it, sir, to be honest with you, and also amongst those things that, you just mentioned, I'm truly blessed. My school is won Best of the Press for Best Martial Arts Studio in the South Jersey area for the third consecutive year. So I'm truly blessed to be able to do what I get to do. I have amazing families that come into my school and train with me. I just feel so honored and humbled to get to do what I do, because, we've talked about it before. I have a full-time job that outside of this teaching, and I do it because I love to do it, and it's the rewards and the return I see just in their behaviors and everything else is such an amazing thing. Because when you have the passion like you and I do for something, to see, the accolades are nice. The accolades. I mean, listen, I have a trophy shelf at home. Kind of, I see your trophies behind you, and it's nice. But it's in my office, kind of like yours is in your office. So if somebody comes over, they know I do this stuff, but it's not out and trying to brag about it. But when I see the kids have successes, that's my success. That makes me feel good inside when I hear about their successes. That makes me feel like I'm doing something right. And as long as I keep doing that, I'm going to keep doing what I love to do.
Well, again, a big shout out to you on, making that decision this year. And it started on last year, but I've really seen the growth in you, as a martial artist, but, spending a lot of time with you this year on the different projects. I've seen a lot of growth in you, as a person. And I've seen your, when we first started on some of these things, I don't know if I can do this now to finishing the year off with your own book, being a best-selling author. And again, if you're just checking in, here's the book, I Can't Yet. This is by Grandmaster Stephen Miller, and it says The Power of One Word. The power of one word. So you can start making a difference in your martial arts school. Now, if you'd like to order copies and put into your martial arts school, your daycare centers, you can reach out to Grandmaster. You can go online and order, and the link to make the order is going across the screen now. You can go to Amazon. Again, you look up Stephen Miller, but is quite a few Stephen Millers out there.
Yeah, there's a big Catholic religious writer. I mean, there's a lot of Christian books out there. It's not me. I don't mind writing those, but this is mine right now.
Well, so the better thing when you can Google in there Stephen Miller, but also add in there I can't yet, the power of one word, and that'll help you bring it up, because I was trying to bring it up in the beginning and I searched for Stephen Miller and I'm going, goodness gracious, how many Stephen Millers ever? That's a very popular name, sir.
That's what happened to me the first time I started looking for it. I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah, that's a very
typed in the
popular
power of the
name.
word, it came right up. So the power.
Well, a lot of those folks by the name Stephen Miller, they've done great work.
Yes.
And so when we think about legacy and we think about what you're doing, I think this is a great way to, now guess what? When they type in Stephen Miller, just in a few weeks, your name is going to pop up as author, and you've already been doing that this year. So that's going to be, it's going to be easy to find. And, so a lot of schools out there, if you're in that Atlantic City area and New Jersey, and you'd like for Grandmaster Miller to come in and, speak to your class, or for him to be an expert in your training programs. And this title is a great title for kids, but it's a great title for the adults too, because as adults, we are carrying that childhood thing of negativity about how many things we can't do. And sometimes we feel as though that we are failing. I tell folks all the time, if you're sitting in a child's swimming pool, just stand up. You're not drowning, and that's what we really have to do, is to be able to stand up. And I think that your book is a very good book, an excellent book to give that message about stand up, give that child some support, by using positive words, positive influence, using that to be able to empower them. What advice would you give to parents who want to build resilience in their child?
Just keep encouraging them. Like I said, unfortunately, in today's society, the kids give up so quick, and we got to just break that mentality. So if your child has a problem with something, help them out with it. Encourage them to try again. Be their support, whether you help them with it yourself and show them how it's done, so they can learn. Differently. There's different ways. There's visual, there's reading, right? And so there's different ways to learn. Every child's different. So just don't give up. Don't just say, all right, you can't do it, let's go on to this. Let's keep encouraging them to try. And it's gonna, it may be one little task, but that encouragement in that one little task is going to steamroll or snowball into everything else they do the rest of their life. They're going to know that that's a valuable lesson you're teaching them, to not give up and keep trying. So that's the biggest thing I can say. Just keep encouraging your children, help them to grow, let them know that they may not be able to do it, but they're not able to do it yet.
That's great. Now, so I'm going to try this and see what happens here. So tell me, what was your experience with Elite Publication? This is something I can take back to our team. Now, I'm not the only person that works at Elite Publication. I'm just the guy that makes sure everything works. But what was your experience, in this process?
It's fantastic, sir. I mean, from the time we started it, I mean, we emailed back and forth some copies of the books. You helped me edit it to where it was a better version. The team that put together the graphics for it, Crystal, it's been an amazing process, and I highly recommend to anybody that's interested in getting their word out in a book, that Elite Publications, I would recommend to every single person that wants to write, because it's been a huge experience, a great experience for me. Like you said before, we've collaborated on Elite Martial Arts. We have another collaboration book coming out next month.
That's right. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Yes. White Belt to Wisdom, right? So I'm very excited for that one to come out with. So you and I have worked on quite a few projects, and I can't wait to work on another one with you, sir. It's just such an amazing experience, and this is, like I said, I highly recommend you to anybody who wants to put their words into paper.
Well, and thank you again. It was great having you, as a client on this project. Again, this is about the third, fourth project we worked on. And guess what? In January, you now featured in another book. So now we're kicking off the year, January the 30th, 31st, and February the 1st. We're going to be releasing a new book that we're writing with Cynthia Rothrock. And this is the Elite Martial Artist White Belt to Wisdom. And we have writers in there such as Eric Lee, Art Camacho. It's just such a great group of people. This is an anthology book. So there's about 30 different authors in there, and they're talking about the secrets to life, the secrets to leadership, and the secrets to business. So this is not just a martial arts book. This is a book, a philosophy book that people are sharing what they have learned about life and giving you wisdom and insight on the things that's worked for them. And since we have so many great authors who have achieved so much success, then this is going to be a phenomenal book. So you can go to our website, the Who's Who website. There's a banner there, and you want to click on Elite Martial Artists, and there you can discover how you can be in a book with Grandmaster Cynthia Rothrock, and how you can be a part of this amazing kickoff of the year. I mean, this is a great way to start the year off and, in a success mode, and have that chance to be around some of the most successful martial artists that's ever participated in the martial arts. So we're really looking forward to that. So again, one more time, everyone, go to Amazon. This is Grandmaster Stephen Miller's new book, I Can't Yet, The Power of One Word. So you can tell by the title, this is a very powerful book. If you're a martial artist, or you want to write a children's book, a coloring book, or just publish a book and you want to have more insight, then remember, reach out, contact Elite Publications, and that is elitepublications.org. And what we always say is that everyone has a story. You just have to get it out. So again, go to Amazon, get a copy. Hey, guess it's Christmas. So what are you going to be giving the kids for Christmas? Well, you want to give them this book. This is the best gift you can give them, for 2025 going into 2026. And so remember, go to Amazon, get a copy of the book, and check with me so we can start writing your book and make 2026 a powerful year. And everyone, this is Grandmaster Jessie Bowen with Grandmaster Stephen Miller. So remember, be blessed, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and have a blessed and happy New Year.